Shout out Big Steve.
What's up? Early tease again, early in the week. UFC Vegas 99, just finished UFC 98. So we'll do a little recap of the previous UFC, and if we made any money, if we lost any money, and we'll look at all the early odds for upcoming UFC and all the upcoming UFC and regional promotions, right? So let's get into it. Did we make money last week, as in yesterday? No, we didn't, unfortunately. If you follow me on Twitter /Sherdog, or if you're in the Discord, the Big BB MMA Discord, why wouldn't you be? You would know I had a big bet on Tyra, which didn't work out. But did I regret it? Did I regret that? Not so sure. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. So, Clayton Carpenter, Lucas Roca. I'll be honest, I kind of considered Roca, but there was a big physicality gap for Carpenter. Don't think I ever would have laid the juice for Carpenter. He was getting lit up in round 2, so I have no regrets there. I regret the under 2.5 a little bit. I noticed he was plus money last minute. Corey Haddon, I like this guy from day one, from scratch, from the early teas, and then I did some more proper tape the day before, and I was like, all right, he should win this, and then the line improved quite a bit, and yeah, I played him. Yeah, just Aguero's not good. And I think people are watching Haddon get wrestled by an undersized Steve Erceg and thinking that Aguero can do that when there's just a different level in jiu-jitsu. One has elite jiu-jitsu. He can actually go to mount. He can actually hold control, whereas Aguero is just rinse and repeat takedowns, no setups, no striking defense. So happy with that one. There was a lot of noise, obviously a lot of line movement the other way, so happy I stuck to my guns, especially with chalk. It's a little bit scary laying the chalk on a guy that's going to give up takedowns in his UFC debut. Pilastri, McKenna, didn't like anything. I know my boy Pepper liked Corey McKenna. I agree with him because of the takedown upside, but then I watched her fight versus Velismus where I did lay the chalk, and I was like, I can't lay this girl. She's such slim margins, so weak, no finishing upside, and Pilastri just looked massive favorite. So props to anyone that laid her there. Tafa Sharaf, what a shit fight, and how bad is Tafa? Should have got finished in round 1. I contemplated a few things. Sharaf round 1 KO, which was paying $7. I would have pulled my hair out if I had to watch that not finish at the end of round 1. And I just kept trying to live bet different sides, and Tafa almost knocks him out, then gasses out, and yeah, shit show of a fight. I was about to play the under 1.5 at -200, but man, he hit by 15 seconds. So I don't really have any regrets there. I had a bad feeling about the fight. Grimbo Price, I like the over 2.5, like minty bets. Didn't have the balls to play it. Pat Sabatini, I mentioned I get why Pearce is the favorite, but it just feels like a shit show, back and forth grappling fight. Regret not playing Sabatini when the line spiked to plus 150. I actually regret a lot of things on this card, but I didn't have much time to tape actually. Early in the week, I was like, wow, I'm getting through this, and there's only Octagon and UFC. I can focus a lot. But I don't know, just other things, business and the wedding, and just got the better of me, and then I ran out of time. And a lot of these fights, I have a feeling if I taped a little bit more of Sabatini, I probably would have locked it in. But Ramazan Tamarov versus CJ Vergara. I did spend a lot of time taping Tamarov. As I mentioned on the early tease, I had 2 units on him at an early line because a friend told me when I initially taped it, I was like, kind of don't like the look of this guy. It was the same thing that everyone else was saying. He might gas out. He swings quite wildly. He puts everything into his punches. And that's why I didn't tip it out to the Discord. And then the line kept getting steamed. And then I retaped them again the day right before the fight. Sat down and had a coffee and just peaceful on a Saturday. And I was like, yeah, this guy's really good. I don't give CJ much of a chance. He's going to drop round 1. He might get knocked out in round 1. And then rounds 2 and 3, Tamarov might be a bit slow, but he's still going to be the better striker. I mean, CJ is a guy that almost lost a low output decision to Vincia Salvador. So thankfully he got the KO. I didn't have to sweat it. So I won 385 there. So I was like, hell yeah, first bet. Let's go. Rodriguez Morono, I'm glad I didn't go too deep, but I felt like I love Morono, in the striking fight. Played out Pick'em. I feel bad for the people that played Morono, but yeah, I don't touch these washed welterweights. Grant Dawson, Rafa Garcia, yeah, a little regret on the under. I definitely said Rafa's not going to do what Solecki does. He's actually going to try, and he's a wrestler. He's not much of a jiu-jitsu guy, but yeah, a little regret there. Chidi, no regret on this fight, even though Chidi looked value. No regret on the Park Tavares. I probably would have got tempted into Tavares if I taped it. And then we go to my massive bet, Tatsuro Taira. I had 2.2 thousand on him. With $500 units, that's almost a max bet. $250 more, and it's a max bet. 5 units. Most of it was on Bet365, $1.57, so 7 cents better than minus 200. Some people might say that was a bad bet because obviously Royval won and he looked like he had a ton of value, but I don't know. I have no regrets. I've been doing it last few weeks, with Tisha Torres and stuff. I gave Brandon Royval a split decision path. And sure, he almost finished in round 3, which was a bit of a weird sequence. Not too sure what happened to Tyra. Maybe someone can let me know. It looked like maybe he had a body shot or he had a knee and it was just kind of crumbling a bit. But he still almost took down Royval, got his back to that end of round 3. So his rounds were extremely dominant. Round 2, round 4. Round 1, he kind of gave it away, just decided to strike and looked to be awkward on the feet. Still, kind of landed like a little stumble and a takedown at the end of the round. But if he got going a little bit sooner, it would have been better. But yeah, I have no regrets. I did play $1,000 on Royval after he survived round 3 at Tyra, which, kind of a bit annoying. It was minus 200. If I waited till round 5, Royval was a big underdog, but it would have been a nice hedge. But at least I hedged, so I lost like 1,700. And yeah, that shit happens. If Tyra stays on top in round 5, he wins, and I will regret hedging. And yeah, that happens. I have no regrets. Royval is a weasel. I don't think he has much power. He doesn't have much takedown defense. I think Tyra had a lot of advantages over him, and he showed improved striking against Pereira and whatnot. But yeah, these things happen in MMA. I was already mentally prepared to lose, so I'm not too cut about it. When you have a big bet, you always get cold feet. But yeah, no regret. So yeah, ended up 1,080 down on the UFC. Obviously, because of Temerov and Haddon, it reduced the damage, so it wasn't and the hedge, so it wasn't a big, huge loss. But didn't really take the card as much as I would have liked. And then I donated $155 in Contender Series. It was just another card where I had no pre-bets, and I was just poking things. I had like $50 on Antunes KO because it was wild. Again, there was really obvious bets under 1.5 on Antunes, Dulatov, and the go the distance in the first fight. Really popular bet. I really liked it too. Don't know why I didn't play it. This was probably a week where I had really good leans, where I'm passing on the really good leans again. I haven't had that in a couple of weeks. Maybe, I don't know, other things, stress and whatnot. And I donated $165 on boxing on Frazier. A couple of sharps in the Discord pointed it out. He was an underdog. Should be the favorite, maybe. I played it. Then after tape, I'm like, I don't really like this. I usually stick to clear leans on boxing, but I left it 165. He got knocked out. And then I won on Lazar Todev, which I mentioned on the early tease. I'm surprised that he's the underdog. He beat this Polish guy in the first fight in Octagon. Knocked him out in round 2. Probably should have gone bigger there. So for the weekend, lost 1,090. And back to break even again for October. So minus $163. Just feels like, I was manifesting a big week. I was like, all right, I'm up here, I'm up there. I'm up on Temerov, I'm up on Haddon. Todev won on Octagon when I woke up in the morning. So I was like, all right, Tyra's going to win. I feel really confident, providing some Jamie split decision doesn't happen. And yeah, I was like, I'll be up I'll be over 22,000 and it'll be a respectable number despite it being a really bad year. And it didn't happen. So it just feels like one of those years you take a step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But, you got to be positive. You got to be positive. Shit happens. I'm now $163 down, which is literally one boxing donation that I made. And if I didn't donate to that, didn't donate to Dana White Contender Series, it's why I'm so disciplined. When I look at the big picture and I'm like $100 down or $300 away from being in profit, it makes me go back and regret my little pokes because those pokes add up. But you got to look at the positives. I'm up for the year on the worst year ever, and it's not something that I really think is a big deal. If you hear me talk about this, I think anyone can profit long term, but it's something, and we got half of October to profit, and then I got November and December, and if I can get close to 30,000, it will be a respectable year. And who would have thought 6 years in, one whole year after going full time and making 54,000, who would have thought that I would have learned something, that I would have had a year where something surprised me. But yeah, obviously I bet quite bad in August and stuff. It's not all without being my fault, but yeah, so some variance. Had to make some adjustments. Now I'm on $500 units, so it's going to be hard to make that money back that I lost when I had $2,000 units. But we're having fun. I'm enjoying. I'm going to keep gambling, keep doing these podcasts, and yeah, just documenting the journey. It's all about making some cash, and if this helps someone make some cash, that's what it's all about. And if it doesn't, then oh well, that's life. Gaucho, what's up, Steve? What's up, my friend? Riding high. All three fighters, I was confident in all one. I'm on another 11 streak. I love this game. Good job riding high. I'm going to assume that you weren't confident on Tara, so good job to avoid that landmine. Almost got Sharaf round 1, too. Would have been extremely annoying. It would have. MMA Jesus. Gaucho is a scrub. Don't listen to a word he says. The dude is clueless. Gaucho's alright, man. What are you talking about? He's not bad. No fighting in my chat. No fighting in my chat. Unless it's two guys I hate, then you can go at it. Alrighty. So that's it for the recap. 18,600 for the year. 14 units. You know, whatever. It's trash. But we'll keep having fun. We'll keep having fun. Keep having fun. Keep making money. End of the year, if I'm over 20,000, I can say I just made $20,000 gambling on MMA, and it's been a different year. You know, getting married and a few other things, they're distracting me. The stress of reducing my bankroll, reducing my units, it's all distracting, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it, and we'll keep on enjoying. All right. Let's look at some odds, shall we? That's why we're here. Contender Series. Last week. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to have my boy Subliminal MMA tomorrow. It's a shame. He's got some plans. So, but, you know, I did tape a bit of this card. I taped the first card. A lot of motion. A lot of line movement. Obviously, people are trying to get ahead. You know, Muhammad Ado, Mikhailov. Mikhailov was an underdog. He's the guy that beat Luciano, the dude that just fought in Bellator. Really good Australian fighter from Absolute MMA. Great gym. Lachlan Giles gym. He beat him. He's good. He's a good fighter. He's physical. Ado, I don't really know what this guy's good at. I watched both their fights. I don't know how I feel to pick him now, or like Mikhailov slight favorite, so I'm not going to rush that one. Hernandez, Martinez, this was brutal tape, so I moved on quickly. DeVale versus Antonio Montero. I haven't looked into this one. Again, a lot of line movement. I know DeVale, I faded that bum on Fury, the guy that lost to Bogdan Grad. I faded him as a big underdog with DeVale, so I know him, but I haven't watched any of his fights recent. Let me look at the odds. Let me look at the odds for you guys. Where the hell are the Contender Series odds? Yeah, so Mikhailov is now a bit more of a favorite. Martinez, yeah, more a slight favorite to Hernandez. That just feels like a shit show of a fight. DeVale, Montero, close to pick him. Pensini, Garul, close to pick him. Garul is a beast. I had a soft spot for him when he made his LFA debut when there was no tape. I bet him as a huge size underdog, and he just won in round 1 KO. And Nick Klein Souza, I take this fight, and there's two bums. So, you know, not going to waste too much time on this early tease. Incredibly competitive fights. So let's just move on, right? Let's move on and look at some other odds. What do we got here? LFA. Akhmatov, I know this guy is fighting Scotty Stockman. That seems like a setup match. Viscondi, we don't have any odds for this. I mean, it's kind of no point, right? Do we have any odds? LFA. No. Yeah, some good fighters. Whatevs. No odds. Let's move on. Let's not waste time where we don't have to waste any time, right? Brave FC, I like this card. Wouldn't have odds for this either, but I really like this card. Me and my boy Dog, we know Luis Cardo. I'm going to look into that one. Richie Smolin, Jose Sanchez, that's going to be an absolute shit show. Shit show of a fight. What else? Dean Duis versus Masate from Cage Warriors. That's a good fight. Bulide is a really good kickboxer. I got to look into that one. Yeah, this is I think this is a sleeper card. I've been doing well on Brave when I did a recap of my yearly betting without even realizing. I don't make many bets on it, obviously, because it's on Bet Online and the limits and whatnot, so I don't focus on it. yeah, I've been doing all right with it, so I'm excited. KSW, really, really low level card. Let's have a look. I actually have odds for this. All right, let me look at the comments. Mushroom, what's up? Thanks for listening, my friend. Alrighty, so these fights, I know Tobias Lee, good striker, bit of a mean knockout in his last one. I bet him there. Yeah, quite annoying. Just got kind of ran through by this Joniak, who's not good at all. Yeah, these two dudes, I don't know who these guys are at all. Let me have a look. Yeah, Mikhail Sobec, Kotula. This feels like a Dana White Contender Series fight for KSW. But you know what? I love KSW so much that I'm probably going to be more excited to take this than anything else. There's going to be some really off lines. So I got it on Bet365. Let me have a look. Competitive. Tobias Lee is an underdog. Interesting. Could be some recency bias. Vasily Duchard, 3-3 versus a 2-0. And Duchard is a favorite. Interesting. Jan Siroki. We've got Jan Siroki here from Octagon. 13 wins, 18 losses. He's fighting Gino Van Steenis. I'm pretty sure this is Van Steenis from Bellator's brother. He's obviously going to be the favorite. Minus 200. Yep, I know right away I'm not playing that. Let's go here, shall we? Hanka, Glenarova, these are two chicks. Jesus. Yeah, really, really low level fight. Mateusz Juracek and Kaspar. This is actually the best fight. Kaspar, I don't know if he's ranked anymore. He's a good kickboxer. Right, this Juracek guy. Oh, right, he's from Octagon. And he knocked out Henry Felipe. Interesting fight. Let's see where it's... Yeah, slight favorite. And then we've got Stefan. Stefan Wojcik versus Michal Martinek. I'll tell you what, I'm not really interested about any of these odds at first look. I know a lot of these fighters, but who knows? Tape will be done. It will be a grind, but we'll see. Hopefully, I have more time this week. Alrighty, PFL Super Fights, lads. PFL Super Fights. This is a sick card. My boy Evan, what's up, my friend? It's a shame we couldn't avoid the mush for Tyra this week. We did it with Pennington. Tisha, Pennington, Torres. We couldn't do it with Tyra. Jake, what did your account dump on Dana White Contender Series? I haven't dumped anything, my friend. I don't have an account to dump. I have to be calculated from here on out till after the wedding. I'm literally operating on peanuts. Aussie Fight Fan, thanks for listening, my friend. Evan, of course, we'll always bounce back, my friend. We might even bounce back this week. Alrighty, so what do we got? Francis Ngannou, Renan Ferreira. I always wanted to see this fight. But you know what? Now I'm just like, whoa. After what I always thought Francis had an iron chin, but after that Anthony Joshua fight, man, who knows? He's a bit older. How old is he? 38? Yeah, 38. I know he can probably take down Renan Ferreira here. The guy can be taken down by every single person. But yeah, definitely not laying the juice. It's Renan or pass. We'll see what the unders are here. I've been smashing his unders. But, Dennis Goltsov's a bit chinny. Maurice Green, Sheffield, Ryan Bader, for sure chinny. Could knock out Rizwan Kuniev. Could knock out Klitson Abreu. Could be one of those ones where, you fall for the really juicy under. But then again, I think Francis Ngannou can kill him. That's all right. We're gonna look into this one. Seems like an extremely volatile fight. Chris Cyborg versus Larissa Pacheco. Great fight. Let me just remind myself what Chris Cyborg did. Killed Kat Zagano, Irene Blankov. You know what? She's 39 years old. I lean her. But yeah, with her age, I think Larissa at 30 years of age, although at featherweight, she hasn't looked the same. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think she's better at lightweight on the gear and not cutting weight. Um, is this to me, Evan? The package? The package is on its way. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The eagle has soared. Yes, it has. Johnny Eblen, Fabian Edwards. I don't care about this fight. Why they're rematching? AJ McKee, Paul Hughes, the sharps, in this Discord, in the chat. What do you think of this fight? It's got to be Paul Hughes at plus money, right? I don't know any of these two dudes. Hussein, Mawson, Rufian Stotts, Marcus Breno. It's got to be Breno as a huge underdog for sure. Dogfather, you kind of like Martinek. I mean, it's got to be Martinek or pass, man. It's got to be Martinek or pass. Diedrich Saunders, the GOAT. I don't know these guys. I just don't know these dudes. Ahmed Sami. Sami's a decent sized favorite, and he's a underdog, and he's a grappler. And this Rashad Nader guy is, a Saudi Arabian bum. Nothing, no offense, nothing personal. Don't come at me if I do have any Saudi Arabian listeners, but Sami has been knocked out before, but only by Amir Fazli. Islam Reda. Did these guys already fight? No. Yeah. For sure, dog will pass. Reda is not good at all, man. They've given him a couple layups back to back. Alrighty. TG, AJ McKee spot. Paul Hughes lost last fight. He was too hittable against low quality opponent. Yeah, sure, he's hittable, but I'm not playing. I don't know if I'm playing minus 200 on AJ McKee. I don't think he's that guy. Pepe needs a lock after Tyra. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? There was a couple locks last week in Haddon and Timarov. It's a shame the Tyra wasn't one of them. Alrighty. Really good PFL card. Let's move on. What else we got? Now, I just realized I've started from the regionals rather than the UFC. So let me know if you prefer this way. But now we're on to the UFC. Right? And this is a card. All right, Rebellis to Spain, Austin Lane. I mean, what are we going to do here? Right, they gave him one of the chiniest guys in the division. And yeah, we know what's going to happen there. Pepe, I did LFA. I did it before you came in live. But what are we going to talk about? There's no odds. There's no odds. But it looks like a good card, though. A lot of good fighters on there. Elise. Here we go. Danny P. Danny P with the controversial take. Seriously considering unsubscribing to anyone who bet Tyra, but that would be everyone. Easiest bet of the year. Well, I'm glad you can come in here and gloat, my friend, for hitting the easiest bet of the year, which, it sure looked like that when he was flattened out in rounds 3 and 4 and getting his ass beat. But yeah, good hit, man. I can't fault anyone playing Royval when the line obviously got crushed. Tristan, my friend, is Brave too. I mentioned Brave. I said it's a sleeper card. A lot of these lads coming in a bit late, but that's fine. I'll allow it. Jake, Tyrone Tracy 2D. Let's get it, Steve. What does that mean, Jake? That's right. I already mentioned this one. Dogfather, Kamal versus Luis Carter. Mentioned all the prelims, all the regionals. So now we're on the UFC. So just pipe down. UFC channel now. Oh yeah, Robert Despan versus Austin Lane. Yeah, they gave him the chiniest guy, but we've seen how bad his grappling is. Waldo's taking him down. Who knows? Binary. The under 1.5 is juice to the tits. It's not going to get my attention till last minute. Elise Adeline versus Melissa Martinez. I know this Martinez is a bum because I remember taping her for the Elise Reed fight. And yeah, she could barely beat the Desiree Yanez. So yeah, that's it. Makes sense why she's the underdog, right? Because of all that rubbish. But yeah, I can't really say anything until I've taped it. No, wait, she's the favorite. She's the favorite against Elise. Sorry, I just keep mixing up these damn girls, these bums. Um, yeah, definitely Elise. I'll pass. I think Elise is going to be much better. She's not on short notice. She's a scrapper. I thought she might have a chance. I was close to betting her against Shannon Bannon, but yeah, it's Elise. I'll pass. Right. Jessica Panay, Elise Reed. Let me have a look on Bet365. Reed is Reed is the favorite. Wow. Honestly, I think these three women's fights, as horrible as they are, they might have the best hidden value. If you tape it, you get a good read on it. They might have the best potential spots. Pepe, Elise is the Aline Perez of 1-1-15. Yeah, except she's probably not as cringe, and I'll say her ass is better too. Perez is just disgusting in my eyes, personally, but each to their own. Jocelyn Edwards, Tamares Vidal, worse than minus 200 on Jocelyn Edwards against a girl that will grapple. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Brad Katona versus Jean Matsumoto. Matsumoto, a big favorite. He was a big favorite against Agueda, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. You watch Cody Haddon's performance against Dan Agueda. A lot less issues. 30-27, beat his ass. A lot less issues than Matsumoto. I think Matsumoto lost round one clear, so kind of needed a guillotine to bail himself out of there. So, Brad Katona's not bad, man. Everyone's going to crap on him because he can't finish, a half-eaten sandwich. But he's not bad. He's a winner. He knows how to win and squeak out these decisions. So that's, you know what? I'll just talk myself into taping that one first. That's the one. Mateus Nicola, Asu Amabayev. That's probably the next one. I see this price on Asu's improved. I just recently taped him when I was seeing if I was going to fade CJ against Timarov. He's a good fighter, man. Asu is really good. He's like the Marab of flyweight, but better. His wrestling's actually better, and he actually has some striking too. I know some of the lads said they don't mind Nikolai because he's got good takedown defense, but I think Nikolai's stock is on the way down. I think he's one of these guys that should be not out of the ranking, but it shouldn't be as high as he is. Yeah, I think Dvorak was one of those guys, and Sud Mudeji is one of those guys we'll talk about soon. So I don't rate Nikolai that much, especially because of that chin and whatnot and lack of volume. All right, what else? Darren Atkins versus Daniel Pineda. This is a bit of a shit show fight. I taped Darren Atkins versus TJ. And yeah, he's still a guy that's getting reversed a lot. Getting reversed. I think Pineda can potentially match his grappling. He's a lot more physical. Even though TJ Brown was losing, he was still getting reversed, falling off the back. He was still taking Elkins' back. He was still picking him up and slamming him with ease. I think Pineda can do much better when he gets those positions and not be so careless because TJ Brown is like one of the worst guys to ever do it. He's so stupid. But yeah, it's a closely lined fight. Yeah, Pineda's already like out grappled and survived in the guards of Burns and whatnot. So minus money though. Elkins has the cardio, but I think that's about all he has. It's a shit show fight. We'll see. Not rushing to bet it at the moment. Brady Highstand versus Jake Hadley. Interesting that Brady's the favorite here. Interesting that Brady's the favorite. Jake Hadley always been a decent sized favorite, and now back to back underdog. It's a dog or pass for sure, but I have to look into it. I will say that what's his name? The Irish bum was a bit overrated. Minus 200. What was that performance? What was that performance? Horrible. But yeah, he did show better takedown defense, and he actually showed get-ups, Jake Hadley there, so we'll see. Dogfather, Gene was minus 140, minus 50. Oh, okay, so similar to Haddon. Thomas Vidal, Jessica Panay, yeah. Parlay, why not Pepe? They're both old. Yeah, it's a bit of a shit show fight. I mean, Pineda came back after a beating and won round 3 clear against Nathaniel Wood. So he has some gas in the tank. He seems like Pineda's worst round is round 2, and then he gets a second win in round 3. He did all right in round 3 against Caceres as well. So who knows? It's just one of those shit. I think a lot of tape needs to be done on that fight to get a good read. Alrighty, what do we got next? So we've got Sumadeji, Charles Johnson. I mean, don't understand why Charles Johnson is minus 200 against the guy that's clearly the better striker than him. So yeah, got to look into that one. But Sumadeji has been exposed quite a bit. You know, he's always had issues with his ground game. He's out here getting rocked and dropped by Tim Elliott. He's had a lot of injuries. Yeah, withdrew against Josh Van. That would have been a sick fight. But getting finished by Matt Schnell when Matt Schnell can't beat anyone, just not a good look. But to be honest, he rocked him like 17 times in round 2. That's a shame. He really should have. He really should have knocked out Matt Schnell there. But yeah, I like Sue. He's a great striker. Just needs to round out the rest of his game. I don't think he should be ranked this high. But yeah, dog will pass, man. Dog will pass. Carla Phillips, yeah, I know some people smashed this line. What is that now? Oof, whoa. Whoa. Smashed. Maybe look at the unders, I guess. And we've got the main event. Michel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez. I know the lad Evan has a max bet on Hernandez, and I don't get it. I know people had max bets, you know, against Kopylov. You know, I just makes no sense to me when he's so live to get knocked out. Yeah, I think this is a much tougher matchup than Kopylov. Kopylov, you know, has the issues with the wrestling, not wrestling, good takedown defense, but has the issues when he's on his back. We saw, you know, Derive get a 10-8 against him. We saw freaking Carl Robertson submit him. So that was kind of like, you know, if you don't live bet it, it's going to happen. I made some crucial errors on that fight. I kind of went back and forth with people on Twitter, and then I didn't live bet. And I thought Kopylov was winning round 2 as well. He came out and it looked like he hurt him a little bit with a body kick again. So I was like, oh, he's going to win round 2 as well. But yeah, I should have live bet it. But yeah, I just think Pereira. I think Pereira is way more dangerous. He's way more physical, way more powerful. He's actually a black belt. His takedown defense is not bad at all. He's great at digging underhooks. Yeah, and it's more so Anthony Hernandez is not the best wrestler. He just keeps on coming, but he gets stuffed a million times before he gets it. So it's an extremely volatile fight. I think it's more volatile than Kopylov, just because you don't know. You know what Kopylov is going to do. Kopylov, I saw on tape that he has really good footwork, and he's really good at circling away from the cage. Pereira does too, but then there's questions like, how will Pereira be a middleweight? Like, we haven't seen him past 30 seconds. Like, he obviously seems a lot more, like, he hits a lot harder, a lot more powerful. You got to assume he has better cardio. Like, not cutting that much weight, he has to have better cardio. I mean, I get the vibe that Pereira is going to be like Robert Whittaker. You know, not the same level, but someone that benefits a lot more. You know, going from losing to Court McGee and freaking getting knocked out by Wonderboy to actually being a high level fighter at middleweight. So he's clearly going to benefit from that. Like, you can't cut that much weight. So maybe his cardio in round 3 is better. You know, usually goes up 2 rounds to nil in every fight. And he's fought, I know, you know, people reference he's fought bums. He's fought some good fighters too. He fought Chaos Williams. Yeah, Ponzinibbio was washed. But yeah, he beat him. I mean, Alenzicek, Petrosky is a great fighter. You know, everyone hates him. I hate him too. He's a freaking idiot. But he's a winning fighter in the UFC. He's beat GM3. He's passed the GM3 test. They've given him bums. They've given him decent guys, and he's beat him too. So, yeah, man, I don't know. It's just, I don't feel, I definitely thought I was going to be playing Pereira, but I've taped a couple of fights, and I will say his get-ups don't look good. They don't look good at all, which is an issue. I saw at least Kopylov was really good at using an overhook to stand up and using the cage to stand up. Pereira, when he's flat on his back, it's just, for a black belt, the signs are worrying. But at some point, you know, at what point do you take a guy that's going to rip the body, that's just so much stronger, so much physical? It kind of reminds me of the Rodolfo Vieira fight. Look at the Rodolfo Vieira fight. He was throwing around Anthony Hernandez. You know, both really juicy, strong guys. But at some point, you just have to take, you know, this round 1 killing machine and yeah, just take a stab. Take a stab. I'll be a little bit more smart, and I'm not gonna just like I'm gonna cover all my options, like unlike how I did it with Kopylov. I think that doesn't go the distance in the Kopylov fight was really generous. It was 10 cents worse than -200, but really it should have been like 80%. And I'll be a little bit smart on this one. This is a 5 rounder, but yeah, at some point you have to take Pereira. I know everyone's glazing Hernandez, and I've lost money fading him, but I have to stick to it. You know, same thing happened with Sabatini. Eventually worked out when he got knocked out by Damon Jackson. And Diego Lopez, I have to stick to it. And Sabatini is a good fighter, but if you see some chinks in the armor, and you know the bookies haven't caught on, then you have to do it. So I see the chinks in Hernandez's armor. I have to stick to it. I have to stick to it because I'm gonna hate myself if it doesn't happen. Not so I can brag on Twitter. I don't give a shit about that. But this is the read that I've had, and I have to stick to the read. You know. So yeah, I think Pereira's is very live to kill this man. And yeah, I'll look at something. I'll look at something in that fight. Mark, Fluffy is very soft to the body. One of the best in the division. Well, yes, that's the narrative. We've seen it. It was talked about in the Kopylov fight too. We've seen Kopylov kind of hurt him a bit. He really didn't like those body kicks. But Jake, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. You're the second person ever in 3 years that donated. So yeah, hopefully I see that money. I know some people don't see it. I'll have to figure it out, but appreciate it. Pereira going to melt if he can't find the kill shot. Yeah, these are all, we know the narrative here. 5 rounds does not help Pereira at all. We know what's going to happen. Over under 2.5 Gilly jumped by Hadley. I don't know. I'll have to see how many times he jumped it in the last fight. Did he jump any guillotines against the Welsh midget? Not Welsh, Irish midget? I haven't retaped that fight. I still got PTSD. That was the beginning of my awful run in August, and when I just forced that Welsh dude -200 because I was like, I need some bets. Yeah, PTSD. That's it. That's all we got. You know, not even 40 minutes. I don't have a bet for you. I had Tyra and whatnot last few weeks, and Lucindo and Tisha. I actually do have a bet in another 2 weeks, but I don't know if I should give it out. I haven't even given it out. I haven't even given it out on the Discord. Shall we do it? Shall we do it? All right. Let's Dogfather. Thanks, my friend. Thanks for the $10. What a guy. All right. Yeah, let's do it. This is the bet that I have. Let me just whip it up. Pierce, I already talked about PFL, my friend. It is. I don't know this guy's name. He's fighting in 2 UFC's time. It's plus money, so it's probably going to lose. Rafael Quaraquera. You guys know this guy? I bet this dude. This is the dude that I bet. Let me share on here. This Chad, 34-year-old, fighting Ibo Aslan. He has one decision against Fernando Filo. Other than that, it's all round 1 finishes. Well, one couple of round 2s. So that's where I'm at. $2.25 plus 125. Plus 125. I have 2 units on it just because that's what I'm doing now. I'm getting more aggressive. And then, I can reduce later on. That stops me from being a pansy. But, yeah, that's it. I think Ebo's not that good. I think this guy's live to KO him, just like Ebo's live to KO him. There's a lot of question marks. This guy's a black belt. He's been a black belt for a long, long time, so he has that potentially over Ebo. And, I mean, people were playing freaking Anton Turkalaj against him. And that was kind of competitive till he knocked him out. So, yeah, this Brazilian guy, I don't know where the hell he came from. He wasn't on Contender Series. He was booked to be on Contender Series, but he had injuries, and then they just chucked him in the UFC. He would have absolutely destroyed Francesco Mazzio. He was meant to fight Mazzio, Jesus. But yeah, he seems really good. Obviously, there's question marks. Never been out of round one, other than a couple times, and then one whole decision. But man, I think it looks good. I think it looks good, and yeah, jiu-jitsu background. So that's all I got. Parky, the round one merchant is normally juice. Well, it's two round one merchants going head to head. So there you go. Here we go. You're my name, the Sheen. That's a great Twitter. Great YouTube username. If you want a solid underdog, take Bruno Ferreira to beat Abus. Well, didn't want to spoil it, but it's clear dogger pass there. I need to tape that one as well. That's a clear dogger pass. You know, why is Pereira an underdog? Ebo fought Renato. Yeah, that's a bum. Ebo, the last Ottoman, losing to this guy who got pulled on the NY Contender Series on a Saudi card. Are you baiting or what? What do you mean? Is Ebo meant to be good? Like, what's so good about him? I'm not baiting because, sure, this guy was in Contender Series, but he's definitely better than Ebo. Find me a guy on Ebo's record that this Brazilian guy wouldn't beat and possibly knock out in the first round. And he definitely would not be submitted by Anton Turkalaj. I'll tell you that. All right. You put 3 units on a lease over this guy, to be honest. What? Who's this guy? You mean you put 3 units on the lease over Melissa Martinez? Is that what you're trying to say? All right. Well, that's it. I've given you a random bet in 2 weeks' time. A bunch of other bets. Thanks for the donations. Hopefully, I see this money. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, peace out. Good luck. We'll have one more Contender Series tomorrow. Honestly, can't wait to finish it so I can stop grinding on freaking Monday and Tuesday. And yeah, peace out.